My name is Tiara. I'm also known as the merch girl in some circles. I live in Brisbane, Australia. I'm originally from Malaysia and I have Bangladeshi heritage. And when I was growing up in Malaysia, I went through a lot of racism from students, but especially from the teachers. Such a big deal made about my race and bullying about my race that it took me forever to actually figure out that there are other parts to me besides the fact that I am a minority. And it wasn't until I moved to Australia about 4 years ago, and after I finished uni, that I felt safe actually doing something about my sexuality. Like, I knew I was queer since I was a teenager, but I was also kind of asexual, and you grow up in a country like Malaysia where no one talks about sex, like, ever. Never mind queer sex, never mind alternative sex, just of sex, you just never touched it, like, at all. And I was thinking, like, so basically, who wants to do anything about it? And then I moved to Australia, got a boyfriend, and went, oh my god, this is actually more interesting, I realized. And then I had my very belated teenage rebellion. Last year, I got into burlesque and started investigating more about sexuality as kind of sociological thing, and volunteered for a lot of queer related organizations. I volunteered with the local lesbian health action group here. I'm involved in the queer community in some level, but I'm not necessarily here to tell you it gets better, because in my experience it tends to get different rather than better. And I can understand having been in a situation where you're in your 20s, like I'm 25, and maybe you're like me and you're dealing with your sexuality very, very late, relatively late in your life, maybe a lot later than I am, and you feel like a failure because I feel like I'm the worst example of a queer girl in the history of queer girls. Like, I have a boyfriend who's awesome, and we have an open relationship, and polyamory is great and all, but it's also highly theoretical because I don't have and have never had a girlfriend. Like, I've been rejected. I mean, everyone kind of goes through that. You ask someone out, guy or girl, they turn you down, as whatever gender they are. In my efforts to really outwardly explore my female sexuality, I have been assaulted. And it was hard finding resources because everything was built around being assaulted by men, and there wasn't really anything in the context of a woman being assaulted by a woman, or just sexual abuse in a kind of alternative context. And the closest thing I've had to a possible relationship with a girl was 3 days of intense awesomeness, and then it devolved into chaos and heartbreak, and he doesn't talk to me. And I'm also going through chronic depression. I have been for many, many years, stemming from the school-related racism, and there's a lot of things. You go through life, and I had to do a lot of growing up, a lot of changes, and that takes a toll on you. And I've just also discovered a lot of great things. I'm doing performance art, and that's been a lot of fun. I've really getting to creativity. I'm meeting a lot of people and having all these really interesting adventures. But it can also get really, really hard, especially when you feel like I do, that there's a part of your life that still lies unresolved. And because of my chronic depression, because of my hormones, because of my brain cells, because of my life situation, I can't pin it down. Every morning I wake up, almost every morning I wake up wanting to die. And I was just feeling that. Like a couple of hours ago, I was feeling like I was a huge failure. That people are saying, oh my god, you're such an interesting performer, and you are really outspoken and brave about things, and la di da di da. And part of me thinks, well, I don't deserve all those accolades. I don't deserve my boyfriend's immense love for me. He's such a sweetheart. I don't deserve all this good stuff because I can't back it up. I can't even get a girl to like me long enough. And I feel like people see this mask and don't really see the inner me. The inner me that goes through a lot of stuff, and the inner me that is not always so happy or always so outgoing. So I can understand some people who find the It Gets Better project slightly frustrating because for them it hasn't gotten better. Or for someone they know it was okay and then it got worse, because sometimes you live your life in a kind of ignorant bliss and then these issues come to hit me like they did to me, and you go, holy crap, there's all this stuff I have to deal with, and they're all hitting at me all at once and I don't know what to do. So does it get better? For some people it does, for some people it just gets different. Like, I still deal with some stupid race-related stuff, but it's nowhere near the level of what I faced as a kid growing up in Malaysia. And there's still all these other things I have to deal with. Life changes, and other challenges pop up.
But what I found is that even when I'm feeling like completely down and useless and worthless and why the hell would I want to listen to me? I whine too much. Many people out there who have reached out to me, who have taken me to their houses and fed me and given me tea or taken me out or chatted to me or emailed me, anywhere from my boyfriend to close friends to random strangers on the internet to the befrienders who I really love, the befrienders or the good Samaritans, depending on which country you're in. They have a free email counseling service and they're fab. I don't know, all these people who could give you the support however best they can. And sometimes we don't know that these things exist until someone comes up and says, hey, we're here for you. And sometimes it can be intimidating to contact them because you think, oh, why would they listen to me? Maybe I'm not that bad or I'm not that special. And I can understand how intimidating it can be because believe me, I've been there and I'm still there. So I suppose it can get better. It's all up to all of us to make it better because we're all in this society together, and it won't get better until the rest of us makes it so. For everybody else who needs things to get better. And for anybody who feels like, crap, I'm no longer a teenager, but I'm still having issues, and I should really get over this by now. Or you maybe are a teenager and you feel like, well, will it ever get better because I'm of a minority, I live in a very backwards or a very isolated community, or I'm so different in many other ways because of my sexuality that even if the queer thing sorted itself out, everything else will still be a problem. I just want to say, for you all, there is at least one other person out there who can totally relate, and you're not alone. And if knowing that you're not alone, that there's someone like me who can understand all that helps a little bit, then yeah, perhaps it does get better because you're not the only one. And feel free to contact me. I'll leave my in the descriptions of these videos. You can Google Tiara the March Girl. Try to edit videos on HP Touch Smart webcams. So apologies for that. But yeah, whether it gets better or not, if you're still figuring it out, you have someone else joining you in that journey. Good luck and bless you.